Now that I've wetted my whistle, now it's time to settle my stomach. And I'm going to be meeting up with Chad Cushman, the owner of the Kitchen Brigade. Originally a food truck, now the Kitchen Brigade is operating out of the same building as Stopbox Brewing. I'm going to join Chad in the kitchen to see how he prepares his novel take on comfort food. All right, so what's first? What are we doing first, Chad?
Let's do the wings and cakes. It's
Wings and cakes?
Yep, it's one of our signature appetizers.
So, I mean, walk me through what's the wings, what's the cakes? I mean, wings, I think I've got a fairly understanding of what a wing is, but what's the cake part of this?
The cake is, well, let me talk about the wings actually, because they are a little bit non-traditional.
Oh, they're not? Okay.
Yeah. It is the whole jumbo flap wing. It's not what we're kind of used to, which is a wing and a drummy.
We're keeping it all together.
Yep.
Cool.
And then we toss it in our signature sauce, which is made with bourbon barrel-aged soy sauce and organic honey, and it has a little bit of chow chow in that. The chow chow is a little bit of chopped vegetables with a little bit of vinegar.
Okay.
Yep.
Interesting.
Kind of adds that nice texture to it.
All right. Yep. Where are we going first then?
Yep. We're going to drop those wings in the fryer.
And then the cake. So what's the cake portion of this?
Yep. So this is what they call like a Johnny cake or a hoe cake. It's considered kind of like a quick bread. So it kind of lays out like a pancake. And what we're going to do is we're just going to griddle one up here. And again, this is kind of something that goes on the side with the wing.
So, I mean, not quite a chicken and waffles, but
right. So that
chicken and waffles adjacent.
That was a little bit of the inspiration, and I knew I wanted to do something similar to chicken and waffles. I know that's kind of a trend, and everybody has their version of it. So this is kind of our kind of nod to the chicken and waffle.
Sure. So those nice and done. All right. And with bourbon and honey. And what's it? Chow chow?
Yep, chow chow.
Chow chow.
Chow chow, yep. Which is
so
basically...
what's in chow chow?
So our version of chow chow is more or less down south. You know, at the end of supper, if you had any leftover vegetables, what they would do is they would throw them into a jar of vinegar and preserve them.
Really?
So that would end up becoming the condiment for your next meal.
Interesting.
Yep,
Okay.
Yep. So we kind of think of like jardiniere.
Okay.
It's kind of their version of it. Yep. So we just kind of give these a nice little bath in that sauce.
That smells amazing.
And then we'll go to plate it here.
Okay.
I don't know about you, but I like my sauces.
Oh yeah, nice and saucy.
So we got another sauce we're going to put on there, which is an Alabama white sauce.
An Alabama white sauce, which is that just mostly?
It's got
milk and butter?
sour cream, buttermilk based, and has some spices in there as well. A little garnish. And we're going to grab our Johnny cake, and I always like to give it a little bit more sauce, and that's ready to go.
That looks incredible.
All right. This dish comes together pretty quick. So we got a melange of different olives here. We got some black, we've got Kalamata, and we got some large queen olives.
Okay.
We've roasted these off ahead of time. There's a little fennel, there's some garlic powder, or roasted garlic.
Does that soften it up a little bit more, too?
Yep. So we're just going to give these a nice saute.
I mean, I guess, are you brining these as well?
Nope.
No. Okay.
Yep. Nope.
So once you've roasted them, then they're just going right in for prep.
Yep.
Huh?
Yep. Yeah, we pre-roasted them along with the fennel and the garlic just to kind of absorb some of those flavors in there. And again, we gave it some love with some different seasonings. So
yeah, you're taking your time with, I'm sure, the roasting, nice, slow and steady.
And then we're going to throw some bread on the grill there too.
Okay.
Right. So again, when I first experienced this dish, it was served with some nice bread on the side, and it's nice to just kind of put some of those olives on the bread with the cheese.
That's part of the unique situation between you and Stompbox is, you know, you're working out of a corner almost, but you're making it work and you're putting out some amazing dishes.
Yep. Thank you. Yep. Working on the food truck for a couple of years in the small space really trained me for this space here.
This is like you got acres to work with now. Coming from a
with my long legs, I can be anywhere in 2 steps. So, all right. So then we're going to lay this.
Okay, we're going over here.
Yep.
All right.
To complete this dish, we're going to line this bowl with a little bit of whipped feta. So
whipped feta.
So what we've done is we've actually taken some feta cheese, and we just pulse it in with a little bit of cream cheese, add a little seasoning to it. And that just becomes like the bed of the bowl for the olives. And just for a little pizzazz, we're going to add a little bit of sumac. Sumac comes from the sumac plant, and it's ground up. So it's kind of the berry off that plant. And
this is going to add a lovely color to it.
Yep,
as well.
lovely color, and actually the sumac actually has citrus notes to it. So again, everything is kind of thought out and given the love, so that's going to actually help with the olives.
I mean, the acidity mixing with the creamy base of the cheese, that's a good flavor combination.
So we're just going to lay that there. So then what we do here also is we give this a little bit of sweetness because there's a lot of brine and a lot of salt going on there.
Yeah.
So we're just got a little bit of honey syrup. And we're going to do a little fresh bread on the side. That's our #1 snack right there.
Excellent. Right. Now moving on to
But this is it's called our pork tomahawk schnitzel.
Pork tomahawk schnitzel.
So basically it's just a pork chop. We use Duroc pork, which is a very sought after kind of pork. It's probably the best that you can get here in North America.
You hammered this really well.
Yes,
I can't believe that.
Yep. So when we get these in, we pound them out and we do a little brine on them for 24 hours.
Just a little brine for 24 hours.
Yeah, just a little brine, but we give them that love again. And even without the brine, what's great about this product is it's already juicy. But again, we just like to take it that extra step. And then we pound it out and we do the breading on it. So it's just a flour, egg wash, panko crumb. That panko crumb gets seasoned with some fennel and some cardamom just for that extra flavor.
All right. So you're just doing a drop?
Yep.
Okay. So what are you pairing this with?
So this is going to get paired with a little bit of brown butter spatzel. So what we do is we got some spatzel. All right, so which is kind of like a dumpling, right? We're gonna throw that in.
And you're going with vegetables right in with it.
Just for color, we're gonna do some Brussels sprouts and some carrots.
So, I mean, kind of a unique take on a traditional German dish. I mean, spatzel
and it becomes very approachable too. Being in the Quad Cities, we're all familiar with the pork tenderloin, right?
Right.
So, when we see this plated, it kind of resembles that. So at first people are unsure, and that's how we sell. Well, it's just basically a pork tenderloin.
But that looks awesome, especially with the French boning. That looks absolutely fantastic, and it has very reminiscent of a pork tenderloin.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And again, this ends up being probably our flagship item.
Okay. So what else is going on with this?
We're going to go ahead and plate this up. So we're going to drop a little bit of that brown butter spatzel.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Oh wow! Front and center, and then what's going on here?
So our garnish here is just to complement that pork. We're going to garnish it with a little bit of apple fennel. So we've dropped a little bit of fresh Granny Smith apple and fennel, and a little bit of lemon juice. And then what we're going to do is finish it off with a little bit of mustard cream. This is simple sauce of just heavy cream, Dijon mustard, and just a little bit hint of lemon juice and salt.
And oh, that looks amazing and smells delicious too. Ooh, that Dijon mustard, that's wonderful. Classic flavor combinations coming together in a very unique dish.
The reason it was, we knew that, being in a bar atmosphere, that we wanted to do some sort of a wing dish. We wanted to present it in a way to where it stands apart from our competition.
Seeing Chad work in the kitchen got my appetite worked up. And tell you what, the presentation looks so beautiful. I cannot wait to dig into this food. Chad, we've got an amazing spread in front of us. Here's the deal. I just saw this come out, and I'm awestruck. We were talking a little bit before about hamburgers. Right. Everybody loves your hamburgers, but what's a hamburger? This is a hamburger. This is incredible looking.
Yep.
I can't. Here's the deal. I know we got our starter or snack over here.
You should get into that.
I'm gonna dive right into this guy. Tell me about your hamburger. What's going on with it? This looks so good.
Yep, we use a farm out of Rockford called CDK, and it's a Black Angus. It's grass-fed, corn-finished.
I don't even know where to start, man. That's
and it's a 70-30 blend, which makes it pretty unique. You can almost cook this burger to a well done, and that juice is still going to drip down your arm.
That's a 70-30. That's really fatty.
Yeah, nice fat content in there. Again, just like with everything, we give the love to it all. The bun is actually a proprietary recipe. It's a Japanese milk bun, which makes it nice, pillowy, soft. The onions are actually sautéed in chicken fat, which is called schmaltz. The cheese is an imported butterkais. And then we got a little signature burger sauce on there, some nice pickle, lettuce.
Holy cow.
Yep.
I mean, the thing is, everything you told me is so unique and so labor intensive.
Yep.
I mean, labor intensive as far as like sourcing,
Right.
labor intensive as far as process. A burger is a burger is a burger. This is not a burger.
No,
I mean, this
no.
is almost a work of art. This is
we
incredible.
pride ourselves in, with all of our dishes is we kind of break down the dish, and again, it's all about that high sourcing. We're not just slapping a slice of American cheese, which there's nothing wrong, it has its place, but when we decided on the cheese, we actually tasted about 6 different cheeses before we landed on butterkais. It just has a good melting factor.
It's got a lovely texture to it.
Yep.
And these fries, I love a good shoestring fry.
Yeah.
And these frites, I mean, this is really, it's nice, it's thin, it's crisp.
Yep.
It gives it so much extra crispiness.
Yep.
That's incredible.
And these are Cannabec potatoes, so these are actually, they cost twice as much as just a Yukon potato, which most people use. And again, we just didn't want to settle for something subpar, so we sought out the best potato we could, and they fry up really nice.
Yeah,
And
it's such a lovely crispness to it, and that shoestringness that's incredible.
Yep,
Ooh. Really, really good. Okay, that's out of the way. We'll go with your snack. You call this a snack?
Yeah, this is somebody that's just dropping in, and maybe there was no intention of sitting down and having anything to eat. They're going to have a beer. This is something that it's a light nosh, and again, there's a lot of flavor packed in there. You got your whipped feta that's on the bottom of the plate, and then we pour some warm roasted olives on top.
Let's try that.
We drizzle those olives with a little bit of honey.
A little bit of honey.
Yep, and then the best part about it is that blue spruce bakery bread. It's a focaccia that they make. And I know you said you didn't like olives.
Right. I mean, and listen, it's got that classic salty oliveness to it.
Right.
But I love this bread. This bread, it's been toasted. You put it right on the griddle and give it a nice toast to it.
Yep.
But it still has that structure. It's not too tight. It's not too loose. But it's got a wonderful chew.
Right.
And mixed with that blended feta, it's incredible. The idea of taking feta, that wonderful not hard, but crumbly cheese, and blending it up and smoothing it out, where it almost becomes almost like a pate.
Or like a cheese mousse.
Right. Ooh, incredible. I'm not a big olive guy, but it's got its place. It's nice. It's salty.
Right.
And but it has an excellent flavor, and being able to like mix and match your flavors in with it, that's great. And I love that. Remind me, what was the saffron? Not saffron. What was the dusting?
The sumac. Yep.
Sumac.
Yep.
That little bit of citrusy flavor as well.
Yep.
This certainly is something, maybe this is my first stop of the evening before I go out and have my full meal. Yeah, I'm going to want just a little bit of an appetizer,
Right.
a little to get something to, tide me over while I'm having a beer. This is an excellent dish.
Yes.
And a fairly light dish compared to this guy. This is...
As we stated before, we start off with that Duroc pork, and this is we have a relationship with the Beeler family out in Iowa, or in western Iowa. We give it a nice brine, and a good fry on that.
This is amazing. This is the idea of plowing through the entirety of this plate is very daunting, but this is excellent. And that spätzle is perfect. I love that little bit of roasted vegetables mixed in with it. Adds a little bit of different characteristics as far as texture, and the flavors is so spot on with that. It was what was the butter?
The brown butter.
The brown butter.
We brown that butter for 4 hours, and that really kind of rounds out that spätzle with just giving that nutty, sweet flavor to it.
That is absolutely incredible. Okay, now here's the deal. I've noticed so far is that your presentation has been top notch. Everything comes out and it's absolutely gorgeous, beautiful, and just like I said, almost a work of art in itself.
Thank you. We wanted to do some sort of a wing dish. We wanted to present it in a way to where it stands apart from our competition, because we've all seen the wings. So the jumbo flap wing, as they call it, it really presents itself well on the plate. And it has that wow factor for sure.
I'm sure that's going to be very,
Right.
very filling. You got plenty of starches mixed in with this.
We do get a lot of people that come in, and I mean, it's probably a good mix of people will come in and get this as a shared plate, but we've seen quite a few people get it as a entree.
Yeah, here you're going the extra mile, and it's in the process. It's in the ingredients. Every single one of these dishes here at Kitchen Brigade, you're going the extra mile, and I appreciate it. My stomach appreciates it, and so does my palate. So, thanks so much for having us in.
Yeah, of course.
The Kitchen Brigade has beautifully presented food with big, bold flavors, and it pairs so well with Snompbox Brewing's funky yet tasty beverages. This place right here is one location that has twice the reason for you to stop in.